Hey Dylan, can you hear me over there?
I can. Always Zoom issues, but we seem to be good to go.
Awesome. Well, hey everyone, thanks for joining us today. This is the first of my coffee chat series in which I'll be speaking with other sales professionals, entrepreneurs, and other people that I find interesting, and I'm sure you will as well. And for my first edition, I wanted to bring on my friend Dylan Butler. We met a couple summers ago, maybe 4 or 5 summers ago, lifeguarding here in town for the county of Santa Barbara, and it was a lot of fun. And then we went to UCSB together as well. And one day in the rec center, I ran into Dylan and he let me know that he was getting his real estate license. And then after graduation, I noticed that he was a BDR similar to myself, but he was also a real estate agent as well, which kind of blew my mind. So he was the first one I wanted to bring on, as you know, this guy's really working hard and doing some great things. So thanks again for joining us, Dylan.
Of course, love the intro, and yeah, for those of you who don't know how we met, like you said, we beach lifeguarded together, and spending 8 hours in a box together, multiple days a week, you definitely get to know one another really well. So yeah, Dean and I know each other well, and I appreciate you reaching out to me, and look forward to this interview.
Awesome. Well, Dylan, I guess my first question for you, as I know you're doing both positions, and for me having a background in tech sales as well, I know how grindy and busy it can be. But what drives you to do both of these careers all at once?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it definitely makes it a lot easier when both are in line with my passion about being in the real estate industry. So, I mean, I'm definitely really motivated on that end. But just the fact that Appfolio provides a quality software, I know we're a quality software, and I'm confident in my services I provide for buyers and sellers as a realtor. Definitely makes it a lot easier to do my job in those manners.
That's awesome. And can you tell us a little more specifically about what you do between both professions?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as a BDR at Appfolio, so for those of you who don't know, Appfolio is a property management software. So, as a BDR, I consult with property management companies, learn about how they're currently operating and some of the challenges that they're facing. And from there, I show them the value that Appfolio is able to provide in filling some of those voids and really helping them to streamline operations and automate a lot of the day-to-day tasks. Now, as a realtor, I actually have my own group, the Butler Group, under Keller Williams here in Santa Barbara. So I work with home buyers and sellers to help them, find their home or sell their home, of course.
Wow, that's awesome. And how do you divide the time between both professions? I imagine you're a pretty busy guy these days.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say, some of my busiest months as a realtor, I was also, doing exceptionally well as a BDR at Appfolio. I like to say, busy is always good. So I get into this mindset and this groove where I really, you know, have good quality days, and I feel a lot better about myself. So it's great in today's day and age, just having the technology to communicate quickly with my clients. Even just having an Apple Watch and getting texts and calls, it's easy to just pick up the phone and get the information I need to my clients as a realtor. And I, of course, I have the evenings after my job as a BDR to show properties to buyers. Before the pandemic, of course, most open houses were held on weekends. So it's totally doable, and it's like I said, I when I'm busy with both jobs is when I'm doing my best, and I feel the greatest about myself.
Yeah, I can imagine so. And I like what you said, being busy is good. Something as a sales professional that I always think of as well is, kind of the harder I work, the luckier I tend to get. Is that something that resonates well with you also?
Yeah, I do like the saying, work smarter, not harder. So I think with that ties in, working, knowing how to work effectively. You could be spinning your wheels all day doing something that's not getting the results you would like. So just yeah, like the saying goes, work smarter, not harder, and then the rewards will come.
I like that, Dylan. And as a sales professional, one of the areas that you have to be really effective is with prospecting. So I
Absolutely.
know prospecting, being a BDR at a tech company, but I'm not too sure really about finding clients as a real estate agent. So can you walk us through prospecting for you as a BDR and also finding clients as a realtor?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Appfolio is a publicly traded company. And with that, we have the resources and technology on internally to be able to, have quality leads and prospect accordingly. So, even using tools like Salesforce, we have a massive database, for me to prospect and find potential clients. Um, However, with the real estate, at end of the day, you work for yourself. But really, prospecting is your bread and butter. Finding clients as a realtor is how you get your business. With anything, such as investing, diversifying your streams of prospecting is a great way to go about it. Finding which streams work the best, and really finding your niche as a realtor on how you get clients. The most successful agents in town, and really when you're starting to do well is when people are starting to reach out to you, knowing that you provide quality service as an agent. And so it's almost like a snowball effect of the more clients I get, and the word gets out about how I work as a realtor, and they're those clients are able to vouch for me, and in turn I'm able to get more prospective clients.
Well said. It really seems like there's some similarities between the two, but also differences in prospecting and finding clients. And what are some of the similarities between moving the deal along, for both being a BDR and a realtor?
Yeah, absolutely. So as I was mentioning earlier, as a BDR at Appfolio, the initial point of contact I'm having with these property management companies is really a consultative approach. Finding out how they're operating, what some of their needs are. Similarly, as a realtor, when I go into a listing appointment with a potential seller, or a buyer's consultation with a potential home buyer, that initial conversation is really finding out, with the buyer, how much they can afford. Have they spoken to a lender? What they're looking for? Beds, bath, neighborhoods. If they even know about the neighborhoods in town. If, a lot of times they'll be coming out of town. Really finding out their needs. Because end of the day, that's my goal, is to provide them with what they're looking for, what they need, whether it's a property management company or it's a buyer or seller. So that's the initial point, and then from there, as I mentioned at Appfolio, is showing them our product. Here's what Appfolio could do for you, and the value it could provide for your company and your team. If I'm working with a home buyer as a realtor, of course, I'm going to start showing them properties, and home seller, I'm going to show them how I'm going to market their home. What the process is looking like for getting prospective buyers into their home. Just what value I would provide as their listing agent. So a lot of similarities, but of course, property management software and home buying and selling are definitely different animals, but some similarities there as well.
Yes, it seems like they're both vastly different. And obviously, I think you would agree in any type of sales profession, you're really working to help people provide value and give them what's the right fit for them. But with that being said, it really, you'll see a lot of people who don't want to give you the time to see the value, or people who are not willing to learn. How do you deal with rejection?
Yeah, and I like how you brought up, people who aren't willing to learn. That's definitely one of the most frustrating rejections that I faced. I like to call it almost like an uninformed rejection. When a lot of times as a BDR, of course, I talk to hundreds of property management companies. I've seen the challenges that they face and really know a lot of the solutions either that we could provide or some ways to change some of their processes to help them out, help their company, help their team. But a lot of times these companies know they have these issues, know they can improve, but won't take the opportunity to learn more. Whether that's looking at our software or attending one of our many webinars that we host with industry knowledge. So that is definitely frustrating for me. Similarly, as an agent, when there's some misconceptions about the industry or oh, hey, maybe the real estate market will do this. We're going to hold off. Those are definitely some frustrations I face when I face rejection. Is knowing there's value that we could provide for them, but they're not taking that opportunity. But to answer your question, there's this concept of delayed gratification. So a lot of times, in sales, both roles I'm in, my end goal, it mirrors what their end goal should be. So of course, I want to help these property management companies. I want to help these home buyers get into the home they want, and of course, sell these sellers homes. Um, but yeah, I would say, a lot of times you don't immediately get that end goal right when you expect it. Oh, hey, it's been a month and I've been working with this company, and the deal's not closed, but end of the day, you have to keep going and know that a lot of times you have to sacrifice immediate pleasure or immediate reward to get that end goal, in the long run. So those are that's a great concept that I live by, of delayed gratification. And like I said, my end goal should mirror my prospects, my clients' end goal as well.
Yes, and I really like the concept of delayed gratification you brought up. It can really be a long sales process where you say you're working a certain prospect or a certain account, or in your case with a certain client, and it takes a little while. Sometimes you feel like you even lost the deal. Maybe this is something that goes on the back burner and they reach out to you in the future, but delayed gratification is definitely something that's very real in sales, and it can be a little tough at first. So from that, I'm wondering, what is some advice you'd give, say, a young professional who's interested in going into a career in sales?
Absolutely. First, I would say definitely get into an industry that you either love already or you have some sort of interest in learning more about. I was a realtor for a couple of years before I started as a BDR at Appfolio. And of course, what motivated me to work with them was the fact that it was in the property management, real estate industry. So as you were talking about my motivations in the beginning, it's something I have a passion for. So yeah, that's my first piece of advice. Definitely get into an industry that you would want to learn more about or already love. I will say on that point of delayed gratification, have some patience. You might not hit your goal first month, but just know how to make adjustments and take the advice from either your manager or colleagues externally to get to that point that you want to get to. And then just think about it. End of the day, you're talking to people, you're working with people, and you're helping them provide value to their life, their business. So just take a step back sometimes, and it may seem scary, either hopping on the phones in a BDR role or anything like that. But just know, end of the day, you're talking to another person on the other line, or working with another human being. So just know that.
Very well said, Dylan. I love everything you were talking about today. It's some really good insight, and I'm sure a lot of other people who will watch this will find a lot of value there. Is there anything else you'd like to share with everyone today?
Yeah, I mean, as I said in the beginning, I appreciate you reaching out, Dean. I definitely recommend it to anyone else watching this or who knows me. Of course, I don't know everything. Even some of the most successful BDRs and most seasoned agents learn something every day. But I do pride myself as being an expert in the real estate industry and property management industry. So yeah, reach out to me with any questions you have about the industry. If you're considering getting into sales or becoming a realtor, I'm an open book. So please feel free to reach out to me. I know Dean will tag me in, any LinkedIn posts he posts on this, but you could even DM me on Instagram. It's Dylan Butler SB, or follow my Facebook page. Reach out to me through there. Facebook.com/the Butler Group, Keller Williams. And like I said, I'm an open book, so reach out anytime.
Awesome. Well, Dylan, thank you again so much for joining us today. Thank you all for watching. Please feel free to check back for more similar videos to this, coffee chat style, in which we'll go over different tactics in sales. I'll interview some other professionals, whether it be sales professionals, entrepreneurs, or other people who we find interesting. But I'm really looking forward to sharing more info with you from very smart people like Dylan.
Thanks, Dean. Thanks for watching, guys.
Take care.